Welcome. You are watching a presentation on the revision of the social work curriculum. The current curriculum has been revised and improved due to a few reasons. The first cohort of students were enrolled for this curriculum in 2009, and after they completed this degree, we revisited the curriculum to see what can we do to improve the curriculum. We were also further audited in 2012 by the South African Council of Social Service Professions, as well as by the Council of Higher Education. And from all the information that we received from both of those audits, as well as from our revision report, we went to the curriculum to see how can we improve this curriculum. Now, the changes in this curriculum will not change your degree. Some of the codes might change, some of the credits might even change, and some of the modules might even now be presented in a different semester. Now, you might also ask, you might have this question, what happens if I failed one of these modules? You will have to take this module in a different semester, most likely under a new code, or you might become one of the students that we will call further also in this presentation a pipeline student. That is a module that is not going to be presented anymore, but you will have the opportunity, if you fail this module, to repeat it in the year after that year level has been introduced. Speaking on the year levels, the changing in this curriculum for next year in 2017, the new curriculum, this revised curriculum, will be implemented from first year up to third year, and then in 2018, the implementation will only be on the fourth years. So the current third year students, you will continue with the current curriculum next year, while first, second, and third year students, you will, as of next year, starting with this new revised improved curriculum. You can expect a curriculum now that is scaffolding from the first year to the fourth year. You're going to have two dedicated practicum modules, and there's also no repetitive of some of the modules. Some of the modules that you've done in your first year in social work, you've repeated in psychology in your second year. Then there are some other changes that you need to know before we're going to look into the changes of the modules. Currently, we have BSWG, and BSWG modules, that is Baccalaureate of Social Work, generic. That's what the G stands for. Baccalaureate of Social Work, generic. Now the revised one, we added two. There's an I and there's also a P. The I is for integration and the P stands for practicum. So in your generic modules, you're going to have theoretical classes as well as class activities. Your integration, you're going to have, again, theoretical classes, class activities, and then you might have components, that's simulations, and there's also some integrated practicum. Now in the practicum, you're going to have two practicum modules. We're going to do some external practicum. One of them is going to be in your third year and one in your fourth year. For your third year module, you're not going to write an exam. You're going to do your practical and you're going to hand in a portfolio of evidence. There's two practical. One of these practical will be your third holiday practicum, and your second practicum that's part of this module is your group work competency practicum. Then in your fourth year, you're going to have currently we call it your internship, but in the revised curriculum, it's going to be your practicum B. Now let's have a look at the changes of the modules. Currently, you have BSWG 111, 112, 113, 121, and 122. Now, what is going to happen in the revised curriculum? BSWG 111, Introduction to Social Workers Profession, is going to stay. Human Behavior and Social Environment, that module are going to leave. We are taking that module out of the curriculum, and we've replaced it with a scientific foundation of social work practice. So if you have failed BSWG 112, if you failed BSWG 112 and you have failed the third opportunity, the special opportunity, if you applied for that, then next year you're going to redo BSWG 112 and that's going to be a pipeline module. Then we have the introduction to professional behavior, move from the first semester to the second semester. Life skills and counseling from the first semester will move over, second semester will move over to the first semester. And your understanding of social development will stay in the second semester with a new code, PSWI integration 122. On the second year level, casework as a method, theory and practice. It's got a name change. You will also see now it is casework theory and practice A, which means that there's going to be a casework theory and practice B somewhere that you need to do. Then childcare legislation and social work interventions. That module currently is loaded with a lot of work. So what we have done, we've split that module into two. One of them is going to be in the first semester, and you're going to have another one in the second semester. Now, the one in the second semester, in order for you to register for that module, you have to pass PSWG 214, the first one in the first semester, Introduction to Childcare Legislation. Introduction to Social Policy, Welfare Policy, and Social Work Policy move to the second semester and becomes Developmental Welfare Policy A. So there's a B somewhere. Social Group Work as a method, theory and practice, stay in the second semester, becomes Social Group Work, theory and practice A. Community work as a method, move to the first semester and become community work, theory and practice A. Basic principles of social work management stay. And now human rights and social justice. That module is being covered. The content of that module is being covered throughout other modules as well as in developmental welfare policy and some other modules as well. So that module will be phased out, which also means if you failed that module, you failed the third, if you applied for the third opportunity and you failed that, then that became a pipeline module. So you still have to pass that module if you failed it. Year level 3, approaches, theories, and models in social work becomes theories and approaches in social work, first semester, advanced casework. Move from the first semester to the second semester, become casework B, which means you have to pass A in order to register for B. Community work, same thing. It's community work theory and practice B. You have to pass the A one in the second year in order to register for B. Group work. Group work, remember, in the past, currently, we have group work theory and practice, and then there's a practical component within that module. That's been split. You've got the theoretical component now in the first semester, and then you've got your competency practicum on group work in the second semester. That falls under PSWP, Social Work Practicum A. Remember, in this practicum, in this module, there's two practical components. One is your group work, and the second one will be your third holiday vacation practicum. Social work with families and children. Currently, you've got social work with families, and children. You've got one of these modules in your third year as well as in your fourth year. So now with a revised improved curriculum, we've got social work with families in one module and social work with children in another module. So in your third year, you're going to have social work with children. Advanced policies, welfare policies and social work policies, currently on the third year. In the second semester, move over to the first semester. You can also see there's also B. So if you have a look at your third year level, this module, developmental welfare policy, social group work, casework, and community work. And your social work practicum A, because there's a practical component, you have to pass the A part of this module in order for you to register for this module. With the practicum, with this group work, with your group work competency, you have to pass this module, your group work theory and practice, in order for you to do the practicum that falls within this module. Now, fourth year level. This will be the first group of students that will be able to register or who will fall within the revised fourth year curriculum is our current second years. If you are now a second year student, you have to listen up, because this is how your curriculum is going to change, if I can call it that. Crime and forensic social work currently will become social work and the law. Social work in host settings. You can see there's two of them. One of them's got a G and one of them's got an M. The M is for Mafeking. Within the Mafeking curriculum, currently, there's components of forensic or the law as well as house settings. So what happens with this curriculum, with this module of house settings of PSWM, social work and house settings, well, the Mafeking module split into two modules. One of the components will move to the social work and the law, and the second one of the components will go into social work and host settings. Then social work regarding specific client systems stay. Family and child therapy, remember we spoke about year level 3 where there's social work and families and social work with children. The children's one is in the 3rd year and the families one, social work with families, is in your 4th year. Social work interventions regarding to substance abuse, that module will stay. Diversity. The content of this module is being covered in other modules, which means that diversity in social work will no longer be part of this curriculum. Practice management and social work will stay. So let's have a look at your year modules. Currently, we've got BSWG 471 as well as BSWM 471. Remember, G generic, M was for Mafeking. So what's going to happen? We've got one module for that, and that becomes now social work practicum B. And then social work research and theory, just a little bit of an update, so some code changes. So those two are still your year modules for social work. So let's have a look at the practicum. Currently, we've got child and youth care practicum. That's 5 days, which you have to do before the start of the first semester in your 2nd year, and that contributes to PSWG 212. Then we have our first holiday practicum or NGO practicum. It's also 5 days before the start of your first semester in your 3rd year. It goes to contribute to PSWG 312. Second holiday practicum, 10 days, currently is for 322 and 323. Then we have your competency practicum, where we have the PSWG modules, the 4th year module, the year 471, casework, community work, group work and management, as well as research. Now the revised curriculum, you can see there's some name changes. Now it's called Vacation Practicum 1. Vacation Practicum 1 contributes to the 2nd module for the child care registration, 2nd semester. So you have to do this practicum before the start of your 2nd semester in your 2nd year, still 5 days. So your second vacation practicum 2, it's now contribute to BSWI 312. It's 10 days. It's no longer 5 days. It now becomes 10 days practicum. And you have to do this before the start of the first semester in your 3rd year. Vacation practicum 3, that is currently it's your 2nd holiday or NGO practicum. It falls within that practical module. Remember we spoke about BSWP 321. It's 10 days and you have to do this in the middle of your 3rd year before the start of your 2nd semester. Competency, to see whether you are competent in the methods of social work. BSWP 321 in your 3rd year. In your 3rd year, you're going to do your group work competency. BSWP 471, you're going to do casework, community work and management. Management is your administration file, your administration work. And then you have your research. Now this is basically to an outline how your current curriculum has been revised and how it's going to be implemented as of 2017. Just to recap, in 2017, you're going to have the curriculum, the revised curriculum is going to be implemented for 1st year students, 2nd year students, and 3rd year students. And in 2018, the revised curriculum is going to be implemented for the 4th year students on the 4th year level. And also, if you failed some of those modules that no longer be presented, you can request for a 3rd opportunity. You can apply for a 3rd opportunity. But if you fail or you don't apply for a 3rd opportunity, you can still do this module as a pipeline module. So This is just for you a short